Ansible tips and tricks part 2. Today we're looking at none other than fail module. Alright, so assuming you have a script, a bash script like this, that has a function like a linter, okay, for to perform, and it has different conditions, and based on those conditions, it returns a return code, okay? So it checks whether Terraform is installed, whether the init command failed, or the configuration is basically valid or not. Something that you should take into consideration when writing bash scripts, that's like a side note, okay, is actually conforming to the error handling rules. So here we are pouring the actual error into std_out via the second file descriptor. So file descriptor number 2 is a representative of std error, and that's why we echo our error into std error. And later on, I show you what effect it has on our system. Okay, so we have another script called test script that actually calls this function by sourcing into this script. If you haven't seen bash scripts like sourcing into another bash script, that's the same thing like as importing a package from another module, okay? So going to our actual playbook, we see that we have a playbook, and in that we got the host set to localhost because it's a test, and we have some variables mentioning and defining the directories for home and script dir. Home dir is basically the project dir, and we have two tasks, test linter and fail if Terraform lint script failed. Test linter exports, well, first defines a variable called script dir to pass to this actual script, and then runs the test script that we just saw, this one. And what happens after is that it ignores if any errors came out of running that script and registers the output into a variable called linter. And after that, we will go for the daemon, the fail module. So with fail module, we say that, okay, the message is the linter that we just actually captured .std error. So we want the std error of the actual command that we just ran. And it only actually is wrong when linter.rc or return code is not equal to 0, meaning that it wasn't successful. So if I want to run this command using this command Ansible playbook, forget about the warnings, and you see that it gives me an error in the fail if Terraform lint script task that Terraform is not installed, please install Terraform from this URL. And if you take a look at the linter script, we said just that, right? We wanted to check if Terraform was installed, and otherwise just, print out and throw an error. So here's the thing. When I told you about error handling, if I just, delete these two from here, and we run this again, see what happens. Okay, so we get no message as our std error. Now, this script right here has a little output, like it's not that much junky output that you usually see in production scripts. So what happens here is that you see that in std out instead of std error. So make sure you are handling file descriptors and error handling correctly. And now the final touch here is that you might say there is another module that does the same thing for us as debug, and I have just written them out for the sake of our time here. If I comment them out, so if I comment the fail module, and we are going to use the debug module the same way that we used fail module, okay? So as the debug message, I say linter.std error, and everything is the same, but we have another task after the debug module. It says just a simple print, okay? And we're going to revert these things and rerun the playbook. We wait for it to take effect and get executed. Why does it take you so long? All right, so as you can see here, it actually outputted the error, but it executed the next module and task as well. Okay, so this is something we don't want. When something goes wrong, we want to fail the process. Now, if I do the same thing here, we fail, we should not see the simple print anymore. Okay, I rerun the script, the playbook, basically. And you can see that the script failed actually got executed and we saw no sign of a simple print. That was it for today. Next week, we'll touch on the default value to see what we can do if the error handling was not there.